What's cracking, y'all? It's me, Quin the movie guy here, and I for one love comebacks, especially when it comes to successful film franchises. Yeah, it's not every day that you actually get to see an IP worth billions upon billions of dollars pick themselves back up. I can pretty much compare this to sports. Yes, I know I'm not the only one out there who pretends to like it just to fit in with the rest of the common folk, but whenever we see a favorite team of ours just come out of a game victorious, we couldn't help but radiate that same energy. So when Optimus Prime tells me to come, I will come with him.
Transformers Rise of the Beast, the 7th installment in the Transformers film franchise. Now I know what all of you must be asking right now. Do we really need more of these? But when I show you this,
that is cinema.
Holy fucking shit, we need more of these! I followed these movies pretty much just like everyone else whose childhood basically started popping off in the early 2000s. I wasn't aware of the culture surrounding these characters at the time. I grew up with the Bay films, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. I had fun, so much fun to the point where it was a weird habit of mine to mash my Transformers figures together and end up breaking a number of them. But then again, those were what the movies felt like to me. A child playing with their toys being fully realized on the big screen. Those were the good old days. I had fun. I'm sure you guys did too.
So there's been this big debate going around on whether or not Rise of the Beast, or I'm just going to refer to as ROTB, is a prequel or a straight up reboot. Personally, for me, this felt more like a new story for the new age of Transformers fans. Not to be confused with the age of extinction. Nah. We'll leave that to the guys who have no issues with sweet-talking minors.
I just called the cops on you because this is illegal. She's a minor.
We're protected by the Romeo and Juliet laws.
We dated for a little while. I was a sophomore and he was a senior. It's fine.
No, it's not fine.
We've got a pre-existing juvenile foundational relationship. Statute 2705-3.
Texas statute? Is that a real law?
Look, as much as I like to admit that I grew up with the Bayverse, I'm more proud to admit that I am so glad that the franchise is being offered a fresh start. New people behind the wheel? Well, some of them are no exceptions, but y'all get the point. Because while the Bayverse offered some level of memorable moments, it's hard to even compare to the level of love and passion that director Stephen Cable Jr. has applied to ROTB. This movie is a fucking blast, straight up. No big, highfalutin words, I am being for real. This movie, I know everyone's recovering from Spider-Verse, but come on! Come on.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I'm all about good story beats, man, but can we please address the elephant in the fucking writer's room? A group of our heroes trying to obtain a key that will prevent the world's destruction. I am so over this. The Bayverse has done enough of it. The Allspark, the Matrix of Leadership, the Seed, glasses. Eyeglasses, yeah. The fate of the planet once lied on fucking eyeglasses. So I'm going into ROTB expecting something fresh, something innovative, something unique for the writers to bring to the table. And guess what the synopsis of the movie is? No, come on, guess. You can do it. If your guess is Optimus Prime stepping on me for 2 hours straight, unfortunately, you guessed wrong. It's about a group of our heroes trying to obtain a key that will prevent the world's destruction.
Well, if it ain't fixed, don't break it, guess I.
Despite my biggest pet peeve present within 2 hours of this movie's runtime, that did not deter me from being able to leave with a satisfying smile on my face. I paid to see robots kick each other's metal asses, and I got my money's worth. And not only that, the human side of this movie, the human characters, let me tell you, you ain't gonna be hearing no one yelling for the entirety of this movie. No. They're not some abysmal caricature. They actually felt more like actual everyday people who have their own set of struggles in life. And you cannot help but sympathize with them. And another point goes to the writers in this department, because I have never in my entire existence of life rooted for human characters in these type of movies. And the writers and Stephen Cable Jr. broke that mold. They delivered when it comes to making Anthony Ramos and Dominic Fishback's characters shine through just as much as the CGI robots.
Which brings me to my next point. The CGI and the amount of detail put into these robots and these fight scenes. Nice. I cannot tell how much I am willing to praise the people behind the VFX department because they cooked. They've cooked. Someone cooked here. Now that this franchise is under new management, it is it's refreshing to say the least. This movie is not bombarded with senseless explosions every 5 seconds. And not to mention not robot genitalia. Well, there is an exception. You know what, RC, I'm looking at you.
I think the only place where ROTB falters is its usage of the Maximals and how they've basically just put them in there to generate hype and nostalgia for the people who watch the Beast Wars cartoon. I personally never watched the Beast Wars cartoon because I was merely just a baby bump in my mother's womb, but I understand why some people, including me, would be disappointed in this. And not to mention Scourge. Listen, I'm well aware that Unicron is basically the Thanos in the Transformers universe, but like, how can I be more invested in the villain when the villain's entire personality is just
I am Antagonist 1. I will serve the almighty Antagonist through by letting them destroy the planet where Protagonist 1 and 2 inhabit.
Come on! Where's the lore? I think that's another thing this movie lacks, proper lore, and I am let down because they're literally adapting the G1 era, or maybe I'm just a spoiled brat who expects everything to happen exactly the way I want.
ROTB has cemented itself to be another Transformers film that breathes new life into the franchise and revitalized itself to old and new fans alike. And you know, maybe some people pretty much prefer the Bay films because you guys are fucking masochists who are not willing to accept change, and maybe some people, including myself, are satisfied with where the future of this IP is going. This franchise holds a very special place in my heart, and I for one am content with what this film has to offer despite its obvious flaws. And speaking of flaws, let's check out how Michael Bay's doing in his spare time. Guess there wasn't anything more than meets the eye with this guy.